Most people, they dread Mondays and they just feel unfulfilled in jobs that consume a third of their lives. If you hate your 9 to 5, you're not alone. Now, I'm going to run you through how you can escape that. I've done it myself. Only a few years ago, I was working in the insurance industry in London, absolutely hating what I do every single day and just wondering how to escape it and what the route out was for me. So if you think there's something bigger for you out there, then you're going to want to watch this video. The first thing you need to realize is you don't need a lot of money to start. Things are very, very different now where you can start up a business online with minimum costs. It's not like it used to be 50 years ago where it would cost you so much money to get a business up and running. So there's a very low barrier to entry now, and that's why you see so many people succeeding in online businesses and getting exponential growth, even if they don't have that initial investment that you used to need. So if for some reason you've got this in your mind that it costs a lot of money to start up a business and get this life of freedom, then you need to get that out of your mind right now. For example, for me, with my online fitness business, all it took for me was about £10 a month for a couple of different softwares, for booking people in on sales calls, the coaching platform. That's pretty much it. So apart from that, all it requires is social media and various other bits of technology to be able to connect you with your ideal client avatar. So there's 3 types of businesses. One is called the sort of needle in the haystack, and this is where you've got a really rare idea, and this is almost like those tech unicorns, the really high risk ones, and there's a low chance of it succeeding, but when it does, it hits big. And then you have passive cash flow, which is where you have these things that are just bringing in passive money over time, things like YouTube, blogs, real estate, all those types of things. And then you've got service-based businesses, which is what we're going to be speaking through today. And you can see some amazing exponential growth with these with very minimal startup costs. This is the fastest to see results, and this is what you're going to want to do if you want to quit your 9 to 5 as soon as possible. Service-based businesses win every single time because of this low startup risk. The passive cash flow, yeah, it can start to grow over time, but with the service-based business, you can grow very, very quickly if you put the right systems in place and you're focusing on the right areas. So the first thing is choosing the right skill. Have a think about what is it that you enjoy doing, what is it that you're good at doing, and just really have a brainstorm of this, really write this stuff down. Think about the jobs you've done in the past, think about what you were good at school. Everyone has some skills that they're better at than others, and therefore they probably enjoy more as well. So you really want to think about this, because you don't want to start up a business based around a service and skill that you're not very good at, because you're not going to do as well. You want to choose something. If you want to escape your 9 to 5, you want to choose something that you're good at and you can get some really big wins quickly. But not only that, you want to make sure you're enjoying it, because that's what's going to give you consistency and longevity, which is what you really, really need if you want to see that successful business in the long term. But that's not the only thing when it comes to the skill you want to choose, because you need to choose something that's high value. You can't just choose something that people aren't going to pay money for. So for me, with my online business, we are an online fitness business and we coach people online to lose body fat predominantly. We do have other clients that do other things, but mainly to lose fat. And this is a very high value skill for a lot of people, because this is going to have a massive impact on their life. This is affecting so many areas of their life, their confidence, their relationships, their work, their career. So this is a very high value skill that people are going to pay a lot of money for. So have a think about this, because you don't just want to, obviously it's important to enjoy what you do, but you also need to have a skill that someone's actually going to want to pay for. So that's why fitness businesses do so well online, but there's lots of other skills that are very high value to people, whether it be coaching someone how to learn sales or marketing. There's so many things out there that are high value. Just have a think about it. Have a think about what skills you've got. And even if it's not necessarily the skills that you are equipped with right now, what do you enjoy doing? What are you on the road to achieving? And where can you develop and take your audience on that journey with you and share your skills as you're learning them? And that brings me on to my next point of just starting by being good. You don't need to be perfect. And that's why it's extremely powerful to have a service-based business as you are learning and improving. You know, when I started up my fitness business, I wasn't necessarily the best coach in the world, but I was a lot better and I knew a lot more. than the people that I was coaching. And that's why you succeed. You don't need to be the best in the world. You just need to be better than the people you're coaching. And quite often, if you are putting time, effort, and you are acquiring more knowledge, you are going to be much more equipped to deal with these problems than the people you're coaching. So that's just important to remember. I think there's a lot of imposter syndrome that can come in when people are starting up service-based businesses because they feel like they're not good enough. But you just have to think about the people you're coaching. If you can guide them to where they want to get to, that's the most important thing. And that's why I said about, even if your skill, for example, you don't feel like you're necessarily equipped to coach someone, make sure you're improving on this over time and document your journey of improving. And then as you're improving, you're going to attract so many more people, and you're going to be able to have this journey that you've documented along the way, and it's going to be extremely beneficial for anyone that comes onto your social media platforms, because they're going to be able to see your journey, how you've progressed, and how you can help them do exactly the same thing. What I would definitely suggest as well, which is not necessarily a fancy tip that lots of business coaches are going to recommend, but I would definitely take on some clients for free at the start, because testimonials and this social proof of you actually having a track record of getting results is so important. And that's why people sign up for programs, because of the results and the testimonials that program's achieved. So if you're starting from scratch and you don't have any testimonials, then no one has any idea of if what you're saying actually works. So I would 100% recommend to coach people for free, because as long as they accept that they are going to need to do a video testimonial at the end of it, which they should definitely be happy with if they're being coached for free. As long as you just find 3 to 5 people that are willing to be coached for free in return for a video testimonial, and that's going to be extremely beneficial for you when you are doing your marketing. And that's definitely something that not enough people realize at the start. They're just trying to get new clients and there's no proof of the concept actually working. So really think about that. Think about some people that would be really good for you to coach from the start. And then you need to build your online presence. So whether that is a website or social media, I would definitely recommend social media, because it's free, first of all, and you can have exponential growth on this with the right strategies and the right content strategy, the right outreach strategy. You can engage people that are liking your content. So I would definitely recommend social media. Depends on what coaching business you're going for, but with fitness businesses, social media is the number one. I've got a website, I don't really use it too much. No one comes through the website, everyone comes through social media, and you can actually connect with the people that are interacting with your content on there. And then once you have that presence, you need to start advertising on there. You need to start putting that content out. So have a strategy in place where you are able to attract the right people to you. Obviously, you want to be doing some outbound as well and contacting people. However, you do want to be putting really good content out there so that the right people are going to find you, and you're not needing to do all the work on that front. So once you produce a good piece of content, it's out there. When someone comes onto your page, they're always going to be able to see all the previous content that you've made. Even when someone new comes onto my profile, they are going through all of the previous content and just binging it before they ever book a call with me. So you need to think about that. It's not just for those initial eyeballs that are coming onto your page when they see it on the feed. Anyone that's interested in working with you is going to go through all of your content and really have a deep dive into who you are, how you talk, if they can relate to you. So, don't just feel like that content, if it's only getting a few views, then it's wasted. It's up there forever. People are going to look at that in the future, and you need to think about that quality content, because if you're putting out rubbish content, then it's not just those initial views. If it's staying on your page and you're keeping that post up, then you need to just remember that people are going to be watching that before they do business with you and ever book in a strategy call with yourself. You need to charge what you're worth as well, because obviously, I know I said about coaching some people for free at the start, but once you do have those video testimonials, and those testimonials out there, if you are a fitness business, doing the before and after photos, of course, are very, very important. Once you've done that, you need to make sure you're charging what you're worth. You've got a high value skill. You need to believe in yourself and charge what you're worth. And that's why service-based businesses do very well nowadays, because you can charge very high ticket amount, because you're having a massive impact on someone's life. And that means you need so many less clients. You're doing the same amount of work, but you need less clients. which I think a lot of people don't wrap their head around, and that comes down to expert marketing skills and sales skills to be able to achieve that. So just remember, you can be doing all this work with the content and you can get 10 clients that are paying you, $10 or something like that, or those same clients could be paying you $1,000. So, if you're not an influencer, if you are someone with less followers like myself, you need to be charging higher prices because you're delivering a high value service. And as long as you are delivering the results, that's the most important thing. That brings me on to my next point of really focusing on your clients, because of course the marketing and sales is important, but so many mentors out there don't even talk about the client retention, the client service. At the end of the day, you get into this because you love what you do. You want to have an impact on people. You have to remember that, because yes, you might have some, a lot of clients coming in, but if those clients aren't staying, then you don't have a successful business, and it's going to be extremely tough for you to scale that business. So not just from a business perspective, but also from a fulfillment perspective and an ethical perspective, you want to make sure you're delivering a high value service, and it makes you feel so much better. And it makes your sales calls a lot easier as well, because now when someone comes on a call with me for our fitness business, I have no problem pitching to them what we do, because I know that if they join the program, they're absolutely going to smash it. So if you have that belief, it makes everything with your business so much easier. And just a side note as well, if you are in a 9-to-5, just think about your transferable skills. Like, yes, I was in an insurance job before in London, and it's completely different to what I do now with the fitness business online, here in Vietnam at the moment. But there are transferable skills there. So don't see it as like a waste what you're doing at the moment. Think about those transferable skills. I picked up lots of communication skills from that insurance job, and using computers, all that sort of stuff. So I use a lot of those skills now. So think about that. What are your transferable skills? How could you maybe apply them to your business moving forward? So hopefully this has given you some motivation, because I know what it was like for me in my 9-to-5. I absolutely hated it, and I've been able to live this amazing life, as I said, here in Vietnam right now, about to go on a trip for a couple of weeks whilst my business is still running, and I'm really excited about it. And I just want the same for you. I want you to go and live a life of purpose and passion, and have this freedom to travel, have the location, the time, the financial freedom. And that all starts with a service-based business. I really do think that it's an extremely valuable tool in today's world, the online markets, and you really need to utilize it. Remember as well, if you do have a job, a corporate job especially, it's very difficult for them to fire you. And not enough people speak about this, but actually, if you have one of these jobs and you're focusing on your side hustle, I know a lot of people that do the same thing. They have a corporate job and they really just focus on their side hustle. It's very difficult for your corporate job to fire you, just because of how things are with HR and all that sort of stuff. So you didn't hear it from me. I'm not advising you to do this, but it is obviously something to consider, that you can really take the piss with your corporate job if you do have one, and it's very difficult for them to fire you. So put in the effort, grow your own thing. That's the most important thing. You want that life of freedom, so you go after it, you go build it. Then once your income is near or overtakes your at least if you've got an income that's near your corporate job, you can definitely quit, because as soon as you go all in on this, that's when it's going to grow so much. So yeah, if you get an income from your service-based business, which is very doable very quickly, to be anywhere near your income for your corporate job, then definitely go all in, because that's where the real growth is made. Even if you are able just to sacrifice a little bit of income for the short term to see that long-term gain, if you can just make sure to have enough money to survive on, if you can earn enough from your service-based business, enough to live on, then I would definitely go all in. And if you want to know step by step how to build an online coaching business to 10k per month, I've already documented all of this in a video, and I'll put the link around the screen somewhere. So go and have a watch of it, make it happen. Just copy everything that I say in there, because it's exactly what I've done, and you can do the same to be having this life of freedom. And other than that, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you in the next one.